we recorded the podcast, and then we had a 90-minute conversation about the Billboard Top 100, which was probably a better
was that last week?
That would have been a banger episode. And I'm not going to lie, there was a part
I feel
of
like we've
me-
done that 2 weeks in a row.
We've done that
Like
a
we've
lot.
had like
We've touched on that a lot
Yeah.
in general. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of how the podcast was born initially, because we'd be
Right.
fucking just playing video games and then having good conversations. I'm like, why are we not recording this and letting 5 people listen to it? And then, I don't know, fucking 10, 13 years later, we're still doing that, I guess. But I don't know. Before I came in to get ready to record, I was chasing a fucking fly around my bedroom. I still haven't caught it, but there was this fucking fly. I couldn't fucking get him. The ceiling is high.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just like.
The lowest rated episode of Breaking Bad.
That's also true. I need to rewatch that episode and see if it's actually a bad episode or if people. If
I
it's just
don't re-
because. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I could have sworn that was like the quote unquote. I'm gonna say like one of the better considered bottle episodes, but apparently that is not the case. I mean, I don't know, but I know it's like the low rated episode.
I think this is what the real issue with it was. I don't know if it was last season or like it was late. It was the second to last season. Because
it was when. Yeah, but that was when they were working with Gus. That would have been like season 3.
It's like 3, I think, or 4 maybe.
How many seasons is the show? 5?
5.
Yeah, I think it's called The Fly.
I mean, if it's in 3, then
it's Rain Johnson.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look it up. Hold on. The Fly.
Your boy did it.
Yeah, he's the best Star Wars director.
Season 3, episode 10.
So all right, towards the end of season 3, what I think is probably the issue for a lot of people, and maybe myself included at the time, I don't remember my reaction to it, but I think there was just so much going on in that episode. You don't get a lot until the very end of the episode, and I feel like it was like, it's like a little bit of a gap between like there's a lot of stuff happening, and this episode, I think I forget what happens in the episode of them just arguing and trying to kill the fly. Does it end with Gus coming in and slitting someone's throat? Is that how the episode ends?
I don't remember that happened.
I think at the end...
It ends with something big. I think it's Gus slitting someone's throat down there.
I'm pretty sure it's Jack going, we got to go back. And then it just cuts to black.
Oh, yeah. Monster. I remember that happening. And the smoke monster shows up.
Yeah. I think something like that happens. I don't know. Regardless, I think that's probably what it was. It's like you're watching this week to week, and it's like a lot going on.
Penny Boat? I didn't watch the show. I don't know.
You should watch that show, Mike. It's a pretty good show.
Not Penny's Boat.
I don't care.
Anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass the Controller podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about Breaking Bad too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself. Some call him Martini Mike, the one, the only, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. And then rounding us out tonight on this 3-man show, not on camera, but still on our minds and in our hearts.
In spirit.
In Holy Ghost, the one, the only. I think I just said the one, the only for you too, Mike. Whatever. He's also the one and only Todd Gary. Shit's getting scary.
You guys were both at our Breaking Bad party, weren't you?
Yeah. That picture
remember.
pops up, I feel like more often
every year.
than it should. Like, I feel like I'm like...
Facebook tries so hard. Facebook will be like, hey, remember this day from like... It won't even be like 15 years ago today. It'll be like, hey, remember this day like 3 years ago in like June, in July,
it's
in
so
November.
Weird. I like don't open Facebook pretty much for anything other than let me just see what the memories are. Do I need to delete dumb shit from 15 years ago? What do we have here?
Let me see if I have any good memories for today.
I don't even know what the popular social media thing is these days. Like
TikTok, I assume.
Is that the popular one though? Considered like for the kids?
Well, you're asking two different things. Like, what's the most popular social media platform, and what's most popular for kids? Younger audience, I would have to imagine is TikTok still.
Is Twitter still considered like popular?
I am sure it does not have as strong of a user base as it Twitter has so many bot accounts.
Bots at this point. Yeah, I think that's all it is.
There are people like me who just don't use Twitter anymore. So like I'm sure that it has a pretty aggressive drop off in terms of like its actual user base. What was I gonna say? I mean, it's not Blue Sky. It's probably not Facebook. I would imagine it's TikTok.
It's not Facebook. Yeah, I would argue it's probably Facebook. Sorry, it would be TikTok. And then I don't know if it
Or
would
Snapchat.
go.
Does that count in this category?
Snapchat would
I've
count. But I
never
don't
even understood Snapchat.
I think it would go TikTok, and then I don't know if it would go Instagram or Twitter. It would be one or the other, I think.
Oh, we're fucking dumb. It's obviously Miiverse. Like, what are we even talking about?
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Let's see what Google says minus AI reports. I
Google
don't know
show
what
me.
Dreamverse.
Add AI.
How do we shut the fuck up, Todd? What would even what would even be like a thing that would have that type of data? I'm sure that data is not public. I guess is it?
I think that data is public in the sense that they're all publicly traded companies. So and I don't know if they all are. I feel like Snapchat might be. They must have an IPO. They must have had an IPO at some point.
I mean, I legitimately just don't know what any of these websites are that are popping up. So I'm gonna click on what Wikipedia says is the most because I don't trust these other things I've never heard of. According to Wikipedia, let's see. This is a list of social media platforms with at least 100 million monthly active users. The list includes social networks as well as online forum, photos, and video sharing platforms, messaging, and VoIP apps. Facebook, 3.07 billion monthly active users.
Monthly is whatever. I feel like daily is
2.11 billion daily active users.
Okay, that's shocking.
YouTube, which
No, it's
I
not.
feel
That's
like
all the boomers are.
I feel like YouTube is not what we're talking about, but
It's not, but it does end up in the conversation for whatever reason. YouTube is like an odd one in that capacity.
So YouTube has 2.504 billion monthly active, but it has more daily at 3 billion. I feel like if YouTube's been in this conversation, I feel like YouTube has got to be the most used thing. It's fucking YouTube.
I used to use it so much. I don't use it ever anymore.
I'm on YouTube right now. I'm not even paying attention to the conversation. I'm
on
videos.
YouTube all day looking at stuff. I've been going down like all different types of deep dives on stuff. I've been getting a little bit into like video essay stuff. Like there's just surprisingly, I feel like, and I got to be clear, I don't watch YouTubers, but like I do watch
Mr. Beast.
He's like, oh shit,
No.
they're all YouTubers.
Well,
like that's all.
I guess
that's on their business cards.
I guess they all are YouTubers. I guess I don't know. It's the same way I don't watch a lot of streamers. Like I watch very specific streamers, and I don't even like tune in to them in like a regular way. It's like I like Northern Lions content, but I don't watch Northern Lions streams really ever.
Yeah,
but I'll watch his.
You always send this Asmongold stuff too.
Todd, I don't know why you're saying the dumbest shit possible, but like I'm gonna go actually break your computer. WhatsApp 2 billion. I feel like that probably checks out. I don't think I knew.
I mean,
WhatsApp
it checks
was
out,
owned
but I
by
also
Meta
wouldn't
either.
like. I get it being in the conversation, but I also feel like it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's not the conversation we were having. I don't think. Instagram 2 billion, TikTok 1.582 billion, WeChat. I'm assuming is another.
WeChat, I think, is
like
big in
WhatsApp.
China, and yeah, but I also never used it. But I understand like it's like more robust than a general chatting app.
Yeah, Telegram, Messenger, LinkedIn.
Okay, it's crazy how many of these things are just Facebook products, or at least
I hate
Facebook.
LinkedIn so much.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is hilarious.
Snapchat, Reddit. I'm surprised Reddit isn't higher, to be honest.
Reddit had its time.
It's cachet.
Douyin, I'm not sure what it is. It's the same company that made TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that is. Another Chinese company that I don't know how to pronounce this company, Kayusho, X. So X is pretty far down there. Again, even if you remove these messenger apps that we're kind of not really talking about in this conversation, I feel like, so you got Facebook, we'll remove YouTube. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm assuming Telegram is also a
messenger. Yeah.
Okay. LinkedIn, I wouldn't have ever brought it up, but it is a social media platform.
It is a social media platform. It is very niche. It's
pretty much turned into like a social media platform at this point. Like, I don't know if you've been on LinkedIn. It's like all spam and like stupid stuff.
Snapchat, Reddit, and then X.
I'm gonna give it to you.
And then right below X is Weibo, another Chinese company. Pinterest.
Yeah.
And then a lot of stuff I'm not familiar with. Threads is down there. A lot of other stuff I'm not familiar with. Discord is only at 200 million. But Discord is pretty niche, I think, in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, I think as an application, I think it's pretty nifty in that, like, if it didn't market itself initially as for like gamers doing, like voice chat while they're playing games and stuff, I think you could market it as like, I would say it's comparable or better than, say, Microsoft Teams, even though they kind of do similar things.
Yeah. It's weird. This also splits off what it refers to as integrated services. And I would definitely put at least like Facebook Messenger down here. I don't know why it's its own thing up top, but Zoom followed by Meet, iMessage, and FaceTime. Sure. I feel like that's. I don't even understand what we're trying to do here with that.
I think it's just probably based off of like what you can download as a standalone app on your phone.
Okay. Well, anyways, that might be what I think. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say potentially one of our worst openings to the podcast. I think I have potential. I think there was some potential with that conversation, but I don't think we actually did anything other than read a Wikipedia.
We didn't do anything other than and you might be right, but I'm also not gonna go back and look at other episodes. So
yeah, I just a gut check, gut reaction here is just it was fine. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't planned. It just happened. I don't even know what made us talk about that, but
yeah, I also don't remember.
Doesn't matter. We got a terrible episode for you tonight. As always, no, I already did our intros. As always, I'm gonna skip this second intro that I was.
You didn't say anything about Goodnight Fatty today, so far.
Well, and now I'm backtracking. Todd got us derailed. Surprise! Because
I absolutely did not.
You absolutely did, because last thing I did was intro you, and you.
I said Breaking Bad. That's it. I said, remember that party I had?
That was.
You trying to pin this on me?
Yeah. See, you remember that party? Then we started looking at Facebook memories. See,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. It all comes back to Todd. I will bring it back to Breaking Bad for a second, and then I don't want to just go off on this weird Breaking Bad tangent.
Oh, here we go.
I do feel like Breaking Bad, and this is just like my own small bubble.
No, it's because you were chasing a fly. Then we started talking about Breaking Bad. This is your fault.
I was trying to have a fun little story about what I was doing before all this. Wait a second. I think we stopped talking about that because we did stop talking about that because I said this is an awful fucking episode and an awful fucking intro.
That's right.
Because I said sometimes we talk about Breaking Bad too much. So we were done with all of that. And then Todd.
And then you brought it back up.
I did not. Anyways, we got an awful show. I'm not even going to say the other thing I was going to say now because it's just we need to.
No, you have to say it now.
No, you'll never know. You never know.
Let's talk about that video.
We have an awful show tonight. As always, every episode of the Pass the Control podcast, they're super excited to sponsor this one. It's sponsored by our friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts, we're caught in a loop, or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're in the Burlington area, you can head on over to the Burlington Mall and check out their pop-up location over there. Either way, you should definitely check them out on social media at GoodnightFatty and at GoodMorningChubby and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. Your mind, your eyes, and your belly will not be disappointed. The cookies are bangers this week.
I was gonna say, once you started talking about like you talked about the extended days of service, I was like, oh, is he gonna mention Burlington? And you did.
And I'm
surprised.
Baby. And I fucking
Good job.
Did it. I did it.
Anyways, check them out, show them some love, and we'll keep it moving. A couple of quick housekeeping things before we roll into this train wreck of a fucking episode. I reviewed Bubsy 4D on the previous episode 523 of the Pass Control podcast. This is 524. So the last episode, I reviewed Bubsy 4D. Mike and I had a quick little short episode talking about that, and Mike also gave a spoiler-free review of his viewing of Mandalorian and Grogu. Is the full title Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu, or is it just The Mandalorian and Grogu?
Great question. Let's find out.
It's gotta be.
Is it tracking to be a big weekend for that movie?
I know initially it was tracking to be pretty bad. I think it was before it came out. I think it's just called The Mandalorian Grogu.
Okay. I think I might have put Star Wars : on the previous
Whatever
episode title. Maybe not.
Oh wait, when I look at it, Fandango, it does say Star Wars : The Mandalorian Grogu.
Well, it's irrelevant. I don't really care. It's semantics at this point. Doesn't matter to me. Check out that. We will soon have. I'll just not say that. We have some great stuff coming to the Pass the Controller website soon. So definitely keep your eyes peeled out on passthecontroller.io or playmoreindies.com. You look for some delicious stuff popping up there in the coming weeks. I think that'll do it. Oh, PTC Movie Club. Sure, why not? Is Dom's pick for the month of May. Excuse me. For the month of May is Dom's pick, and we are watching That's My Boy. So if you want to hear us chat about that, probably within the next couple of weeks, make sure you watch That's My Boy so you can tune into that episode. As a friendly reminder, we do normally record the episode live every week. We didn't the previous episode because we had to do it for different things, but most of the time it is recorded live weekly at Pass the Controller on Twitch, at Pass Controller on Twitch, or if you can't catch the live show but you want to watch the show visually, go to YouTube, type in Pass the Controller podcast. We'll pop up over there. Anyways, we got a show, some sort of a show tonight. Michael, what you been doing?
Stop.
What you been playing?
Fat load of fucking nothing, baby. Let's go.
You're still pretty deep in that. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm pretty deep in that. I want to hear what you say before I say whatever the fuck I'm gonna say.
I was gonna say you're pretty deep in that Dead as Disco. It seems like.
Oh yeah, I booted it back up again. I think they put out an update because there are new things in the early access stuff. Mostly like icons indicating things are not available currently. So for instance, they added multiplayer, or at least a section that says multiplayer, but clearly you can't access it. And then there was a couple on what the level select, it will show you that specifically there are certain levels that are not available currently.
Okay.
But they also added challenges that I started poking around with, and well, actually, the challenges were already there, but I think they might have added more challenges. Maybe there were some other things that just kind of got tweaked with the early access stuff. I don't have a.
I need them to release this to console already.
Is
Or
that a
get a
thing
work
that they've
computer.
like? I'm sure it will maybe happen at some point, but is that is it coming to things that we know of?
I don't know. That's why I got it on Steam. Like I did a quick Google search. I didn't look that hard, and I didn't see anything about a console release. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll just buy it on Steam because I've got a computer."
That's fair. Let's see if their website lists anything. I don't remember seeing anything about it coming to console.
I feel like if there was, I would have
waited.
I mean, yeah, I would have waited or whatever.
My computer's gonna explode opening this tab. Let's see. May, early access launch. June, infinite disco upgrades. Midsummer, Rockstar fashion upgrades. Finale, new idol drop. Fall, tour dates to be announced. 2027, version 1.0 launch. So maybe there's your console to line up with 1.0 launch next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Next year, Jesus.
I mean, I had no idea. I that's just me taking a stab.
Taking a quick Google search. Yeah, I didn't see anything about them saying like, "Oh, we're gunning for a console release." Maybe they are, and they're just keeping it. They're playing it close to the vest.
Yeah, it could always be a thing that's like in some sort of presentation or direct somewhere. I mean, it could be an SGF announcement in a few weeks. Like we don't. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why if it's happening, they wouldn't necessarily toss that info out just willy nilly.
So we got that. I just beat Vampire Survivor or Vampire Crawler today, I think. Yeah. Well, looks like I got the credits at least.
Yeah.
There might be more stuff outside that.
Is there you think you're going to continue to play it at all? Because
I played it today just to like see how the game plays now that I've beaten it. But I went back to like the earliest stage, and then when you do that with the characters that you have or with the options you have, like you're really just like one-shotting everything.
Yeah. Plus you can, I can't remember if you just have the ability or you have to pay for it or unlock it, but you can just choose to like clear the first floor of.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that was always there. Like I remember I played
once you beat a level. Yeah.
Once you beat a level, because I remember I was playing it early on when my playthrough, and I saw that option. I was like, but it didn't say what it was. I just saw like the button there because it has like an X. It has like the X button, and there's I'm describing it poorly, but you know what I'm talking about. I don't care about other people.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't know what it did.
Screw the listeners.
Screw the listeners.
What do they know?
Go play a game. Find out.
Yeah, play a game for yourself. Stop listening to us.
Yeah. So I saw that. Basically that's the feature that already exists.
Okay.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I just want to see. Number one, I kind of want to just get more currency so I can buy more things.
Yeah.
Like upgrade more stuff. Like I don't have all the shop upgrades, and I didn't put all the slots for the cards.
Yeah, I didn't do all that stuff either. So after I finished or hit the credits of the game, I did play a little bit more after. But it was kind of just to like clean up some achievements that I was like, oh, I can get some of these. So let me like clean these up. And then once I had done that, I was like, I don't know if I feel super compelled to play it right now. I don't know what their roadmap is, if they plan on doing DLC packs or expansions. I know that they did a decent amount with Vampire Survivors, and I did go back for some of them, not all of them. So I could see myself absolutely popping back into Crawlers if they add, more levels, more whatever, more things to do in that regard. I mean, there's still stuff to do. I just haven't felt compelled to be like, I need to unlock every single thing, and I need to unlock every upgrade and spend coins for it. I need to unlock, because I don't even think I unlocked all of the characters, but I don't even think I purchased all of the characters.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was still a great one. Like I had a great time with it. I'm glad that I played it. I'm glad that it kind of hit for me the way it did. I'm curious if I'll be thinking about that game as we get towards the back half of this year, but I did enjoy what I played at the time, so that was always good. Todd, I know you were playing a bunch of stuff. You talked about a little bit about Forza last week, but you neglected to talk about, is it Saros or Saros?
Saros, I believe.
And this is a game that like I'm very aware of in a sense of like I know that, next Housemarque game, it's a big PlayStation exclusive. It's a follow-up from Returnal. It's not like a Returnal sequel though, right? Like it doesn't take place in that universe.
No, okay. Yeah, it's a different universe.
Raul Coley.
It's got the same. It's got one of the. It's got the actors from the first game playing a character though.
Interesting. Okay.
Just a different character.
So like I know like that those like broad stroke stuff of it. I know that it's plays a little bit similar to that game in some ways, but it's not really one that like Returnal I kind of bounced off of. Like it wasn't really my jam. But you were a big Returnal head. You're still a big Returnal head, I feel like. So I am very curious. I know you haven't finished the game yet, right? Or
Which
hit
one,
credits
Returnal
or
or
anything.
Saros?
Saros.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
I mean, I would imagine you finished Returnal. You played so much of that game.
No, nope,
Wait,
never
really?
finished it because I couldn't.
Oh,
Yeah, because it goes into like why I like what they did with this game more than
okay.
Returnal. Because
Well,
like,
talk about it because you're a more of a versed because you've
yeah, I
played
think
a
like
lot of both of these games.
not beating Returnal kills me, and like at the same time, like Returnal is probably one of my favorite games of this generation. Um, I fucking love Returnal, and even though like was like not beating it, I still enjoyed all the time I played with it, like every time. But yeah, but Saros is like it's very similar to Returnal, and it's you start out in a biome. Each boss is in a different biome kind of thing. You start unlocking pieces of the story. When you die, some stuff unlocks and upgrades and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling Brendan earlier today, like it's basically a roguelite, but like I think this is like the weakest version of a roguelite, and it pains me to say that because I really love these games, but I also love roguelites. But like I just don't like compared to like a lot of the roguelites we see these days, like Hades and stuff like that. Like those just feel like rewarding. Where this game, it's not bad or anything, but like as far as the roguelite elements go, I would barely label it a roguelite. But going back to what I was gonna
So
say though is
I'm
what were you
curious.
say?
I don't want to throw you off track, but I'm curious. So does that mean like are there permanent unlocks in both games?
Yeah, there's stuff like so like in the first game, like if I remember correctly, I don't think you start off with a sword, and then like once you beat like the first boss and then like die, you get the sword, and this you get like a grappling hook that'll like get you to certain areas. It's like it unlocks like that basically.
Okay. So when you go into if you die in Saros,
Yep.
if you like start a new run or continue or
You
whatever
keep
it
your
does,
unlocks.
you keep everything. Does it change
Yeah.
anything or no?
So it's weird. Saros is very strange because whenever I used to boot up Returnal every new round, I felt like the world was different and the level design was different. When I play Saros, I feel like I'm always it's like more finely tuned, and I feel like I'm going the same. It seems like more streamlined than Returnal was. And part of me thinks they did that because a lot of people complained
Yeah.
about like, a lot of stuff with Returnal, and I know Returnal wasn't a massive hit. It was like critically it was a massive hit for PlayStation, but I don't think it sold well over it sold like 1 million maybe. And I know this game's off to a slow launch. I think their idea with this game was we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna make it more accessible to more people. Because like in this game now, when you beat a boss, when I boot it back up, I don't have to run through the whole first level again like I did in Returnal. I can just go to the start of the next level for the second boss or the third boss. Which like I get why that could bother people, but for someone like me who doesn't have all the time in the world, I'll probably be able to beat this game now.
Yeah.
Whereas like if they did that with Returnal, I would have beat Returnal.
But it's still an option, right?
Um,
Like you could choose
yeah,
to
it's just
start
an
from
option. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start from the beginning every time. You
People
don't
are
have to
fucking
do it that way.
people are fucking babies.
Yeah, it's
If
weird.
shit like that gets your fucking poopy in your diaper, then I'm sorry.
Like,
I just
I need
I
it to be
don't get
hard.
it.
It
I
needs
just
to
don't
be
get
hard,
it.
and it needs to be hard for everyone else.
I
If it's
just
not,
don't.
it's so weird.
It is very bizarre. Like, listen, if you're playing it for like a specific reason of like, hey, I want to get the high score, and it's like, like you're doing something that's like, oh, I want to play it this way. That's cool. Other people who are gonna play it that way are gonna play it that way. But like I don't know, man. People
People are weird, dude.
people just have I don't know. I don't know if people need
One of the main reasons I
less
got off of
hobbies or
Twitter.
more hobbies or need to get off the internet or whatever it needs to be. But shit is
I need
weird,
a purge of social media and online. But my only thing that I don't want to, I still want to be able to play Xbox and games online, but just blow up all the internet stuff. Minus that. Give me my online games. I fucking want it all to go away.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe everyone didn't need a platform and a voice on the internet. Maybe their opinions should have
Oh,
been
100%. 100%. No.
kept up in that. I don't know. No, people are allowed to speak and talk and have opinions. I just think you need to like really evaluate what you're mad about. Like, sit there and think about what is
Just finding
actually
reasons.
making you mad about this specific issue. Like, why is it that? Because this is a thing that pops up all the time. It pops up when a new Souls game comes out. It pops up when like most games come out that have difficulty sliders or accessibility features or all these things. That's like, you can just fucking play the game you want to play. There's plenty of games that I'm like, you know what? I'm not good at this specific thing, and I like the story, so I'd like to see the rest of the story. I don't care if I put it on fucking easy. I do not care. It doesn't change my interaction with the thing. If I want the challenge, then I'll put the challenge on. If I don't want the challenge, I don't fucking want the challenge. Like, it doesn't have to be the same experience for every person. Like, I think that's what makes games like kind of beautiful in some ways. It's like you have all of these, especially in modern games, you have these abilities and options that you can, tailor things to your either necessities if you have, certain accessibility options that benefit your life, or if you just fucking like me. There are some games where I'll play and I'll grind and get good and wanna be good at the game to beat it at the higher difficulty or beat it at a more challenging thing. And sometimes I don't fucking want that experience. And if the game is still good both ways for the person choosing to play it that way, why the fuck does it change your opinion? Like, it's just so weird. It's just so weird to me.
Bro, people just need to be mad. Like this, I'm very curious, and like, well, obviously I'll be dead, but like in like 100 years, when we're like, we're always like
oh no, you're
evolving
gonna be
as
alive, Todd. Listen, if a fucking fire escape
yeah,
didn't
right.
kill you, time isn't going
Right,
to.
yeah. As the more we evolve, like, are we like in like another 200 years, are we gonna? Everyone's gonna have like humpbacks from staring at their phones all day? Because I feel like that's where we're heading. The way like people just get mad at their phones and fucking always looking down.
I really wasn't sure where Todd was going with that sentence, Mike. I don't know if you had any guesses, but I was not able to pinpoint it, and it was definitely not what I didn't think what came out of his mouth was the thing that was going to come out of his mouth.
Don't worry, I was checked out. I don't know what you guys are talking about currently.
Appreciate you, Mike.
I'm sitting here scrolling through God knows what.
Love that.
But,
Love that for
but
you.
going back to Saros for a second though, the gunplay and I think that Returnal and Saros are hands down the best usage of the PlayStation 5 controller. It's like I feel like that those games are just meant for that controller, and everyone like blows the PlayStation controller, and I do like it, but like what is it called? The gimmick on the PlayStation, DualSense. It is the best implementation of DualSense in that game, easily, without a doubt. Like it's very intuitive. It's and I don't think they really care about that for any other game. Host Marquee, I think, are the only developers making games for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the PlayStation ecosystem enough to know who is and isn't taking advantage of the gimmicks on the DualSense controller. I mean, I feel like that's a thing with a lot of Nintendo gimmicks in PlayStation the last couple of generations. I mean, I think the PS4 controller had like touchpad and other things on it that I don't.
Yeah, it had something you could slide your finger across or
I
something.
don't really think anyone was using those in meaningful ways, and I feel like a lot of times there's definitely some exceptions and some good exceptions, but I feel like when it comes to especially Wii era forward, Nintendo developed games or published games are the ones that seem to at least implement some of the gimmicks, whereas outside of that, I don't think there's a lot of people experimenting with or wasting the development time making stuff specifically for those gimmicks, especially if it's like a multi-platform game. I feel like I don't have memorable things I can even call to attention that weren't Nintendo games that utilize, even just with the Switch 2. Like I outside of Nintendo games, I'm trying to think what games use like the most feature or HD rumble or whatever it may be in like meaningful ways. I mean, I don't think anyone really uses HD rumble necessarily in a meaningful way, aside from 1-2 switch when you could hold the marbles in your hand. I don't know. So Saros is not hitting the same for you, is what you're saying. Saros is
No,
good, but
so
not.
yeah, I'm really like trying to figure out like where I stand with this game. No, it's like so like you're gonna be like, well, it's clearly hitting with you. I'd say it's like a 9 for me because like I
This
just
is
get to play
crazy.
more.
I
Oh,
would.
wait,
I'm
because I
okay.
like the game. I like the gameplay loop, and I like that I'll be able to finish this game. But like, for me, Returnal is a 10. So I do feel like this game is like a step back. Which is like saying a 9's a step back is crazy, but like I do think it's too familiar in some ways. And I just would rather see them do something different at this point than, do another sequel to. I mean, I don't think they're going to do sequels to this because I think this has had a very, very poor start for sales. I think they've barely cracked like 300K in sales for like a big game like this.
Well,
From what I read,
what did Returnal sell? Not that that's like a significant.
not much. No, it wasn't
Yeah.
anything. It was like
Yeah,
I
so
think
I
it was
mean,
barely over a
I
million.
don't know if the sales are a big part of what games they're gonna make next.
It's wild though because like I feel like this has been easily the worst exclusive generation for PlayStation, easily. And ironically enough, the only 2 games that I've even really liked that were exclusive for this year, 3, Astrobot and Returnal and Saros. I don't think like anything else was exclusive that was a big. Those are like the 3, and like 6. So in 6 or 7 years, they've had like 3 games. It's kind of wild. They're just coasting along.
Like you pretending like you're not paying attention, and then he says 6 to 7, and you do a little hand motion and smirk to
I'm
yourself.
not paying. Listen. I'm not paying attention, but
Listen, Mike, that's dead
I
anyways.
can catch him saying 6, 7. I'm not stringing together the entire conversations and thoughts, but I can hear words.
I love that for you, Mike. What's so uninteresting about Saros to you that you just are tuning out? I'm just curious.
Too hard.
It's not that it's necessarily uninteresting, but speaking as a person who literally just unplugged his PlayStation, unplugged it because it was pissing me off that every morning I'd have my TV on and then my PlayStation would just turn on and like commandeer the screen like, fuck this.
I don't. I hate that about it too.
I don't know why it does it. It's the weirdest thing. It only happens to me, I
And
think.
it doesn't shut down correctly either. It's like half the time.
It
So
only happens to me on the weekday. So basically, my TV turns on, the news turns on for me because like I want to hear that before I'm going to work. Weekends, it's cool. Weekdays, I don't know why it chooses to do that. So I unplugged it. So I'm speaking as a person who doesn't use his PlayStation. I'm not super concerned or thinking about Saros.
That's fair. I mean, listen, I'm with you. Like I really don't use my PlayStation 5 unless I really have to play something on it, which
is unfortunate because like that's where I own Tekken 6. I think there's a couple other games on there that like I would like to play. I just never turn my PlayStation on. And as I said, I've now unplugged it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine. For me, and I guess this is a thing I could probably remedy. I'm sure there is a way to use an Xbox controller or an equivalent like third-party version of that setup of a control, that style of a controller on my PlayStation. I just fucking hate the DualSense. The extra bells and whistles things that it does, like the things that get Todd all fucking giggly with Saros and Returnal. The raindrops come through the like that stuff is cool, but I specifically don't like how the controller fits in my hand, and I don't like symmetrical sticks. I like offset joysticks, and I think the form factor of both the Switch Pro controller and the Xbox controller are like the perfect form factor for a controller. And there are third-party controllers that have that same setup and form factor. It was Stadia offset sticks.
It's
there
not.
It is. It's not. Yeah. That's you're holding that up, and that's like giving me no. Like just everything about this DualSense, I'm just no thank you. Like it feels weird. It's like not. It doesn't fit good in my hands, and the offset sticks, man. It's just not good. I don't like it.
This is the first time I've actually really liked the PlayStation controller, and I usually don't. I usually agree with you on like how the analogs aren't fucking, I hate how they're lined up, but I don't know. Something about it feels right this time around.
Nah, it's awful. Sorry. That's the one thing. Like I hate it. I hate it so much. It just does not feel right. But the controller itself, like the stick part aside, the controller itself just doesn't feel good in my hand. Like Switch Pro controller, this just feels good in my hand. It feels good. The sticks are just, they feel natural in these positions. Like it just feels good. I still think the Xbox controller is like the best shape. I am very
The
curious.
original Duke, or are we talking?
No, are
like
you
3?
crazy? The Duke? No,
I don't know.
the
I don't know.
Duke? No, you know what? For me, in my head, when I pick up a DualSense, it kind of feels like a Duke in my hand. Like it feels like
Big
a
old
Duke in
Dookie.
my hand.
Big old
It
Duke
just-
in my
it-
hand.
It has like it's an uncomfortable feeling. Like the Duke has. Actually, I haven't picked up a Duke in a long time, so maybe I'm having some misremembered thoughts.
I don't think I've ever held a Duke.
Wait, really?
It's a Duke. I don't even know what a
I-
Duke is.
The
I
Duke
didn't
is
have
the
a-
original Xbox controller.
I
okay.
didn't have the original Xbox. I had the 360 going forward.
Yeah. So then after the Duke, they did the Xbox. I think the controller was called the controller S, maybe. Whenever they decided to go to like this smaller, better controller, and then once they hit 360, it was like 360 refine that more, and then once they got to the Xbox One, I think that they like perfected their controller design, and like obviously the slight tweaks past that are just like more honed in versions. They haven't changed the shape of the controller too much, so like it's the right shape for me. GameCube controller is great, but that's another one that's like, you know, it's not really a great. I mean, it is a great controller, but it's also not a great controller.
Honestly, the more
I think the
about it,
Dreamcast is a great controller.
The Dreamcast
think
is also a great controller, but also not. Like, when's the last time you held a Dreamcast controller? Because it is kind of uncomfortable, but it is kind of cool.
I think the best thing about the GameCube controllers were the triggers. I think L and R being curved in a way where your fingers can kind of like rest inside of them. I think it makes the controller.
Listen, I love the GameCube controller. I played so much GameCube, and obviously we played a lot of we play a lot of Smash throughout our life. So like that.
Yeah, I never liked GameCube.
That controller is like a top controller for me, but I can absolutely see a lot of the negatives or things people don't like about it. Like
I think people didn't care for the face buttons.
Yeah, the face buttons are again games that were made by Nintendo or made exclusively for the GameCube. Maybe they felt better playing it with the buttons that way, or it wasn't as obtuse. But like if you're used to playing on a like more traditionally laid out PlayStation or Xbox
ABXY,
controller, ABXY, whatever, X00, X circle, square, triangle, like those are evenly put on the face button map. So, anyways, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about anymore. We went from
I think.
Saros to controllers.
Listen, not
We got Mike fucking amped up though.
We
just
started
to,
talking about a fly, and then here we are.
yeah, just to get us further off track. For the PlayStation, I believe they don't call it the X; they call it the cross button.
I will never call it that, ever.
I'm just telling you.
Just
telling you what I've heard.
There will never be a time where I call it the cross button. It's the X button to me. It's fine if you want to call it that. So here's where I stand. We're just all over. This episode means everything and nothing and everywhere all at once.
I look forward to see what you title it.
Everything all at once. You said
Mike's not paying attention. Neither should you. Oh no, I lost my thought. Okay, if someone wants to call it the cross button, that does nothing to me in my brain. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't change how I look or think about you or anyone that uses that terminology. I will just never call it that. If you call the Super Nintendo anything other than the Super Nintendo, or in really, really lesser of a degree.
You talking about the SNES?
Yeah, Todd, go away. If you call it the SNES, I will also accept this. But if you say this garbage that Todd is spurting out, I lose respect for you. It's the Super
Listen,
Nintendo.
that's what we all called it, and I'm older than you.
It's
like we were
not
all
what
like, yo, you
anyone
get your
called it,
SNES
Todd.
ready?
I had a Super Nintendo
I'm
when
like,
I was
yeah,
a
I got my
child.
SNES ready. What about you?
No, I had a Super
like, we'd
Nintendo
all
when I was a
live-
kid. Nope. I was alive. I had a Super Nintendo. Nobody I knew ever called it that until it was like older and people like, oh, yeah, I used to play Super Nintendo, and they would call it this fucking word vomit that Todd is spit. It feels bad for me to say it. That's why I'm not even saying it. Say it again, Todd.
SNES?
So bad. So fucking bad.
No, that is like, trust me, that's what everyone called it. You're wrong.
It's not. Mike, what do you call that platform?
SNES.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I call it SNES, but I understand. Like even saying, I'm like, I don't know why I'm choosing to use more syllables. I feel like realistically, if I gave it more thought, I'd go SNES. But I do say SNES. But it's weird.
SNES is correct.
Like, why? It feels. I know that's my impulse, but I do recognize it seems weird for me to choose with those 4 letters to make it 2 syllables as opposed to just 1.
So 2 other things, Todd, and don't fucking lie about this. We need the truth here.
Wait, SNES. No, it's 3 syllables. It's
Todd,
crazy.
Do you call the original Nintendo Entertainment System the NES?
Yeah, the NES.
No, you
That's
don't.
what we always called
no,
it.
you fucking don't.
I don't know. No one calls it SNES. I've never heard anyone call it SNES before either.
Wait, what?
SNES. I never heard anyone ever really call it SNES.
Oh, but then why the fuck do
What I
you
mean
call it that?
I'm just,
Wait, you
Just
don't
the fuck with
actually
you.
call it that?
What the fuck with you specifically?
is that what you say?
Wait, so do you not actually use that term?
No, I always called it the Super Nintendo or the SNES.
Why are you being this guy right now? There are people that are like listening, like, yeah, Todd's right, because there are people
Losing
that
their
do
mind?
call it that.
There's no way. I've never heard anyone
There
in my
are
life call
people
it that.
call it that. That's the only reason why we're even talking about this. There are people that call it that. I'm curious, like, Mike, do you call it just what do you call the original Nintendo system?
That one I would call the NES.
You call
Or
it
actually,
the
I'd call it
NES?
NES. Now I'm thinking about it. Now I truly don't know. I feel like
So
fuck. This is me finding out. Like, I know I used to have a very strong opinion about GIF versus GIF, and I don't remember what it was.
oh no.
I truly don't remember what my fucking stance was on it was.
This is
I probably did
like
call it the NES.
deep in me. It's the NES for me in more modern times, but back in the day, and this is how like in my family, and I feel like I did this for a very long time outside of just my family, we would call it regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo. Like we would so I called it regular Nintendo. And then I stopped calling it that at some point because I don't think anybody calls it regular Nintendo. So I was like, I'm just gonna stop calling it that because nobody was the fuck.
Yeah, but we had to explain it to parents because parents didn't understand what they all thought everything was Nintendo.
I think that's why we called it that, because it was like no, that's for regular Nintendo. We have a Super Nintendo now, or we want a Super Nintendo, and that's just the regular Nintendo. I'm actually very curious. If you listen to this podcast and you call it regular Nintendo, please. I need to know if other people call it regular. I need to know. Regular Nintendo. I feel like I can't be the only person that used to call it regular Nintendo.
I listen. It's a big world. I'm sure
somebody
people did it.
Yeah,
I don't think it was I don't think it's gonna be like
I don't think I've ever heard anyone call it that. I don't think so. Maybe again, people in my childhood growing up, because I was calling it that, they may have called it that too. But otherwise, no. I can't decide which one is worse though, because I do know somebody that calls it. And if you're listening, shout out. Todd knows them too. Actually, we all know them. They're a good person.
I gotta say, put them on blast.
I'll do a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Miami Z. I'll just say that.
Oh shit!
Do you both know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
No.
You do. I'll text you after, Todd. They worked a border with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
So he would definitely call it the Super NES. Ugh. I'm sorry, the SNES. But he would also call it the Super NES, which was, I think, maybe worse. Which one's worse? I don't know. They're both bad.
The SNES is the worst offense, I
SNES
think.
is bad. It just sounds bad. Also, it doesn't have two S's at the end. So wouldn't it be the SNES if you were just really...
English language is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's bad. It's bad.
I feel like people would call the NES the NES. I think I've heard that enough where it wouldn't offend me, and like I would just accept them like NES, NES. Yeah, I get it. SNES is weird. Where was I going with this? But yeah, two S's or one S at the end. I think people would just say NES, and
okay.
that's fine with me.
I wonder if there were like nicknames for Famicom and Super Famicom.
SFAM and nope. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't.
I wonder.
I don't know if they did there.
I wonder if there was like a abbreviated nickname for those platforms too. There's probably a way to look that up. I'm not going to attempt to do that right now live, but cool. Yeah, I don't know. That I guess is maybe the episode. I don't know what we're doing now at this point. I'm like the blood's boiling a little bit. SNES puts a bad taste in my mouth. Ugh. Super NES might be worse. Super NES might be worse because I feel like it must be more niche.
Super NES I definitely probably said the word Super NES, but I also said Super NES too. Like I feel like I said multiple things. Probably
Super NES I think is fine. I think NES and SNES are completely acceptable, and I will have absolutely very often referred to them both as NES and SNES. But the Super NES? No. Super NES is crazy. If you're already going through the process of calling it the NES or SNES, why call it the Super NES? Just call it the SNES. Like, you can't have
I think
both.
we did things differently in the early 90s in a way that we just can't wrap our heads around now.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
I truly don't know.
I feel like the other major platforms don't have any of these conversations, which is interesting. Like,
yeah, I feel like you would either say, actually, okay, here's a question. When it was just the PlayStation, I guess there was no need to ever call it the PS, right?
No, I call it the PS all the time, I think.
Oh, I don't think I ever called it the PS. Ever. I think I just always called it PlayStation. But I think from PlayStation 2 forward, I always referred to it as PS2, PS3, PS4. Like, I would never... Yeah. I mean, I guess in...
But nobody says just PS,
yeah, in
right?
retrospect, I would refer to it as PS1. If I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that was a PS1 game. I wouldn't say it's a PS game.
Yeah. And no one go, psst. That doesn't make any sense either.
But I feel like... Now I just don't know. I feel like it was referred to as PSX back then, maybe.
I don't know. Or
I'm
trying to think if there's any other consoles that would initialize.
I just read something that they called this. People called it the Super. Just straight up Super back in the day too. I've never heard that.
The Super Nintendo just called the Super?
The Super, yeah.
You're just making sure.
I just read something. I swear to God.
It's weird, but I can also
hold on a second.
I think that
GPT. Can you please tell me?
Oh my God, Todd, I'm gonna fucking kill you. All right, according to this IGN article from 2012, since before the launch of the PlayStation, the system has been abbreviated PSX. Many gamers have been wondering where the X came from. Here's the story. Back in the day, 16-bit era, Sony made a deal with Nintendo to do a CD-ROM for Super Nintendo. The CD-ROM See, in right here in this article, it says Super NES, and I still just said Super Nintendo because I would never read that. Get out of here. CD-ROM would be available to add on blah blah blah. Coleman PlayStation. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so it was just a code name, and then it just stuck. So PSX, okay. But I don't think I have ever really personally referred to it as PSX. It was just always PlayStation, and then PS2 forward, it was PS1.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think if there's any other consoles that would initialize in a way that people would just like read the initialization as like a word or just read the initials. Like you weren't calling the Dreamcast the DC, right?
No, I don't think I was abbreviating any Sega platforms. I mean, like the Genesis, we just called the Sega. We just called it the Sega, and then
Sega would. I mean, Nintendo would hate that if you were doing that with a Nintendo product.
oh,
But
100%.
Sega, I guess, didn't care.
No, they used to put out like magazine ads saying like it's not.
Yeah, I know. Nintendo would do that. Sega, I guess, was like, yeah, whatever.
Well, it's kind of crazy that they would do that back then, though, simply because like they kind of had a Coca-Cola situation on their hands, which I mean, I'm sure it can be confusing and have its negatives too. But I also feel like being the kind of like default term for a thing is also probably more beneficial than it is negative.
Yeah, but they were avoiding a Band-Aid situation
Yes.
where like it becomes what's the term? There's a word for it or a term for it where like something becomes so
Synonymous.
like used in such a way that like you use as the generic term for said product. So if you call it Nintendo, then you can't copyright the word anymore. Something like that.
But Band-Aid is a copyrighted brand, is it not?
It is, but like it's supposed to be like an adhesive strip or whatever. Whatever. Like refrigerator is also one of those things.
Oh, I didn't know that about fridge. I mean, but whoever owns Band-Aid, I'm sure clearly skirted through that issue though, because like everyone calls them Band-Aids, and
yeah, and I think they hate it.
That's crazy.
And I think Tylenol too, right? Or Advil, one of the two.
Yeah. Kleenex, I feel like doesn't have that.
It's funny because my mom was one of those parents that would always call anytime I wanted a new game a Nintendo game, no matter what it was. If it's PlayStation, she'd be like, "You want a new Nintendo game?"
Yeah, like it has its negatives, like, but I do think like again, like I feel like you hear people ask for a cola and they ask for a Coke still. And that's a good thing for the I don't know. Anyways, the other thing was, yeah, we called the Genesis just Sega. We never had a 32X or like a Mega Drive or any of that shit, so we didn't have to deal with that. We did have a Sega Saturn at one point, but I think we just called it the Saturn. Like we dropped Sega out of the title. We just called it the Saturn. Dreamcast, we just called the Dreamcast. We didn't call it the Sega Dreamcast. I'm trying to think what else. Xbox is another one that we just drop Xbox out of the name. Like when the 360 came out, we just called it the 360. We didn't call it the Xbox 360. We just called it the 360.
Well, then Microsoft is doing a batshit thing because, like, if you want to talk about the first Xbox, you can't say like the Xbox One because that's the third console.
Yeah. Well, it's they've got silly naming. Even now, like it's the Series X and S. So like, that's just fucking word vomit. I'd rather like, I don't even know what I think I just say Xbox at this point because like, people that understand, I think are just assuming I'm talking about current Xbox, and I don't have to be like Xbox Series. I feel like that's a weird way to have to like differentiate. If I'm writing it out in something like on the website or something, I do put that information obviously, but I think speaking, I just say, oh, I'm playing on an Xbox. I mean, I guess I'd say I'm playing on PlayStation too. I don't say PS5. I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing with Switch right now. Like, I don't think I necessarily in conversation clarify Switch 2. I just say Switch.
Yeah. I'm reading about. I'm seeing something about generic trademark. Blah 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 blah. I don't feel like actually reading this and explaining things.
The
But
legal stuff aside is obviously not a thing people want to go through. But I can understand, and some of this would probably also lead to potential lawsuits. I can understand not wanting to be the kind of umbrella term for a thing because, again, you could, we call video games Nintendo games or Nintendo whatever, and like you buy a game because you think all games are Nintendo, and you bought a Sega game, and then it's like an issue for this, or like I don't know. Like I feel like
basically what I'm seeing is that generally you could lose the copyright if it becomes ubiquitous. Unless you like really fight it, you could lose the copyright for it. So then people can just be like, yeah, buy this Nintendo game. Speaking broadly about video games, like that's the kind of problem that you're trying to avoid.
I feel like they would win that one. I mean, they would definitely now, I'm assuming, win that lawsuit.
I think they've, speaking specifically for Nintendo and probably for some other brands, they can fight it and they've won those situations, but like it is a thing that you probably have to be proactive about if you get to that point.
Yeah.
And that's happened for a number of things, for like Photoshop, for even Google, I imagine. Like I imagine people would just say, just Google it as opposed to searching something. And like that's the kind of thing, if you were a big business, you have to be wary of.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds boring. Let's yell about abbreviations again.
Ooh, yes. You guys are here. I'm just shooting links. You guys can learn about things in your own time.
Oh my god, links. I only like links if it comes with Zelda.
Boo.
Yeah. It was a rightfully attributed boo. Yeah, I opened that and I'm like, I'm not going to read this right now while we're recording a podcast. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm sure there's probably some like cases throughout time that might have some interesting kind of like evolution on the whole thing in general. I'm sure that things have like different cases maybe have changed how that generic trademark even functions from like inception to now. Like I'm sure there have been situations that have had them have to tweak things and change things around because I mean it's bad for obviously literally every other thing in that category because again, Pepsi doesn't want people to order a Coke, they want them to order a Pepsi Cola.
Yeah.
So like it's not good for any. The only thing that it is genuinely I think percentage wise beneficial for is the actual thing that is being used as the generalized term. What were you gonna say?
I just scrolled down to the Wikipedia article to the section that says trademark erosion, special case related to trademarks that happens when a trademark becomes so common it starts being used as a common name, most often occurring when the original company has failed to prevent such use. Once it becomes that the word can't be registered anymore, which is why companies try hard not to let the trademark become universally used. Scroll down a little bit, it says Nintendo is an example of a brand that successfully fought trademark erosion, having managed to replace the common use of its name with the term game console.
Yeah. No, I'm almost positive that they were like taking out full page ads in like magazines and newspapers to say this is like to say those things. So I feel like if they were going to court and stuff and they had like, well, hey, we're spending ad money to like make this distinction, then I'm sure that whatever issue they had in court was like probably not something. I mean, they clearly won whatever issues they were having, but I'm assuming those things made it a lot easier for them to navigate forward. I don't know the ins and outs of those things, but I'm sure that those things helped.
That was our legal minute.
That was Todd's I don't know, law hour. Sure. Todd's not even here.
Great.
Fucking smoking a bowl, sleeping. Anyways, this episode's gone on too much. We're not even playing the game tonight. Fuck both of you.
All right. Well, each of us get 3 points.
No, I can't do that. Mike gets his bonus parentheses points. Todd can go fucking pound sand. Here, let me quickly text Dom. If Dom responds right away, we'll play the game. If Dom doesn't respond in the next 15 seconds, then we're gonna wrap up the episode. I'll still wrap the episode up, but if Dom responds, we'll close out with the game. If not, we will kick the game until next week. But thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 524 of the Pass Control Podcast. We appreciate you. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to support the show, tons of ways to do that. Easiest way, freest way. Make sure you're subscribed to us on social media platforms. Wherever you're listening to the show, make sure you're subscribed to us. If you haven't been to our website, make sure you just check that out. See what we got going on over there. We got written content, other video content. We got drink recipes. We got links to the show, everything else that you might not know about. We have all that stuff over there at passthecontroller.io or playmoreindies.com. As I said at the top of the show, we do record the show live most weeks. You can catch it at twitch.tv/passcontroller. Sometimes we stream other content, whether it's first plays, multiplayer sessions, other things we're playing or checking out. So you can subscribe to us over there and make sure you stay in the know when we go live. If you want to watch the show, but you can't catch the live show, you can just type in Pass the Controller Podcast over on YouTube and pull us up over there. Dom is not responding. So
right.
We are going to unfortunately not play the game tonight and call it there. But we appreciate you, and we will see you next time.